Today we're going to be making a patch repair on a fuel tank. Stay tuned. Hey guys, just wanted to share something real quick before we get back into the video. Welding on these fuel tanks and gas tanks are extremely dangerous. If you don't know how to clean these tanks out and properly prep them before you do any work to them, do some research, dig into it a little bit deeper, because this is an explosion hazard, whether it be a diesel tank or a gas tank. A lot of people will tell you that a diesel tank, you don't have to worry about it, but that's not the case. People get hurt every year doing this. So be careful, do your research, and stay safe. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so as you can see, we got there's a leak behind this big huge patch of JB weld or whatever this is. So what I thought I'd do today, how we're going to repair this is we're going to put a patch over this. So what I thought I'd show you today was how to clean and prep this, or at least how I do it, so you can get a good clean weld around this. And it'll be a pretty informative video about welding lap joints and things like that, because that's basically what this is. So I'm going to take this stainless steel wire wheel and start trying to hack away at some of this JB weld. That's about the best thing I've found as far as getting this kind of stuff off of here. So you can see, after we got all the JB weld kind of wire wheeled off, we've got this. This is the original hole. I don't know, looks like somebody hit it with an axe almost, kind of. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut a patch panel to go around this, probably around, I don't know, may go with a square. Cut a patch panel to go around this. We'll clean this up some more. The next steps, I'm going to wipe this down with acetone really well. And I may take a flap disc and go over it one more time before I wipe it down with acetone. Let me look at it a little closer and see. But the point of this is you want this just as clean as you can get it all the way around. That wire wheel will get most of this, but what I tend to like to do is cut my repair panel, lay it out, take a black marker and draw me a line around the patch panel, and then I'll know where to clean. So I'll clean so far on each side of the line all the way around, and then I'll wipe it down really good with acetone. We'll get it tacked on there and finally weld the part out. I'm not going to weld this hole up. Welding that patch panel on, there's going to be an air gap in between here and the patch panel. So I've just found that leaving the hole like it is and welding the patch panel over it works best. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark my patch panel, just a little mark on the corners, just to locate it, and so I'll know where to make sure that I have it really super clean, because this tank is nasty. They usually have road grime and everything else. So get some acetone on a rag, wipe a lot of that residue off your tank. You'll kind of see here in a second how much, even after all the grinding and polishing and cleaning I've done, it's just still it's so saturated with stuff, and it's ridiculous. So let's get our plate tacked on here. I'm just going to tack the four corners, and the reason I'm not putting tacks in the middle, there is a little bit of a gap, because that tank's got a bow in it. There's a little bit of a gap, so when I tack these four corners, I can actually take a hammer and kind of bump it. Even this being 1/8 inch plate, once I get a little heat in the plate, I can take a hammer and then bump it a little bit and kind of close that gap up just a little bit to make a little bit more sound weld with that, and not have to use so much filler wire. Alright, so let's get our first weld done here, and these are just basically lap joints. What I try to do is make really sure that the toes of your weld are burning in on both sides, on the plate and on the tank. That's real important not to have any leaks. And I'm using a gas lens on this, and you could do this with a standard cut just as easy. I just had a gas lens. I was doing some stainless and decided to do this video with a number 6 gas lens. It really did help on this. I got some good cleaning action, a real good wide cathodic etching on my welds. So it really just kind of helped get some of that trash and get it out of the way. Now here's another pass. If you'll notice that we got it cleaned just enough to get inside that road tar or whatever that is on the tank. And we're just moving along, just a dip, 1/8 inch at a time, making sure your toes on both sides are melted in good. Kind of consuming that edge of the plate, and that'll make a good sound. Well, these kind of things you really just got to take your time, and like I've said before in other videos, it's just, guys, just one bead at a time. I kind of slipped there a little bit, but and this TIG finger is just priceless for doing something like this as well. Everything went pretty well. So I thought I'd share my set points with you. I was at 258 amps on our EN, 120 amps on the EP, 68% balance, and my frequency was 130 hertz. And then the average amperage is like 214 amps. So why do you need so much amperage? I'm sure somebody's going to ask. I really didn't need that much amperage. I probably could have done it down around 160, 180 amps. Me personally, I just like to have that little bit of extra amperage on hand just in case I need it. And then the higher the amperage makes the pedal a little bit more responsive. I pulse the pedal with my foot a lot of times just to be able to limit heat input and control my pedal a little better. So that's why I run a little bit higher amperage on stuff like this. Yeah, I could have done it, 165, 175 amps probably, but just having that little bit of extra is just like a little insurance policy when you're going and doing things like this. Thanks guys for watching. See you on the next one.